Ladies and gentlemen, it's Lions Dan with another news and commentary. I'm doing an update of what happened a few days ago. I did a story of the situation in Waycross, Georgia, when a police officer opened fire a shooting unarmed black children. Now, the same officer that did the shooting, guess what happened with him? He resigned. In other words, resignation means quit the force. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this news clip, and I'm continuing the rest of my commentary.
New today, the Waycross police officer who shot at a car with two teens inside has resigned. The department confirmed that information to News4Jax this morning. News4Jax reporter Marilyn Parker joins us live right now. Marilyn, you are waiting to hear back from the teens' family.
Yes, they tell me they're waiting for approval from their attorneys, but I did speak with the leader of the group, the Justice Initiative, who is sounding off about this resignation, saying it's not enough and that they want the officer arrested.
Man, it's my child, man. Man, it's my child, man. Step back. Those are children, man.
It's been a week since one Waycross family says a traffic stop turned into a traumatic situation for them. But since then, new details have surfaced, and one of the officers involved, Lieutenant Scott Rowell, resigned from the department Friday night. Waycross PD says Officer Rowell fired multiple shots at a car with two teens inside. According to the GBI, the car drove towards the officer before he started firing. The 15-year-old in the passenger seat told News4Jax the officer had his gun out before they had a chance to stop. The GBI also says Rowell and Officer Jesse Shook both wore body cameras but didn't turn them on. We learned there was an altercation with Rowell and the 15-year-old, and Officer Shook used a taser to detain one of the teens. The Justice Initiative, a group advocating for civil rights, says the officer rejected to use any de-escalation tactics and believed the officer should lose his certification.
He endangered the welfare of 5 children without regards to any protocols. From what I understand, there's no need for deadly force, especially for a misdemeanor. This is a misdemeanor. This was a run through of a stop sign, and he engaged in deadly force. So he should be arrested.
And tonight on News4Jax at 10, you can hear what else the group is demanding, including how they are calling for this case to be taken out of the Waycross Judicial Circuit because of the history with DA George Barnhill and how he handled the Ahmaud Arbery case. Reporting live tonight, Marilyn Parker, Channel 4, the local station.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me get this straight, right? So the officer that shot unarmed black kids in that car, he forced to resign instead of arrested. And you know, they're going to really do what they, and like she just said at the end of her report, that the same DA is going to do the same thing like they did with the Ahmaud Arbery case. This is my concern, ladies and gentlemen, that this police officer who literally shooting at the unarmed black kids hit their car and then pistol whip one of the black 15-year-old teenage boy. And yet he was forced to resign. And again, like I told you, that cop would have been fired and arrested. But I agree with this. This is not enough. This situation is totally not enough. And again, he's going, and like I say, since he resigned from the force, he's going to find another facility to work at another police department. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, they just literally, thank God that none of the kids didn't get hit by that bullet. Because if one of the kids got hit by that bullet by that police officer, instead of being, they should have charged them with involuntary manslaughter, and it would have been murder if they shot that one of the children. And again, you know, we're talking about this so many times, how police officers will get away with it, how they're not going to be indicted, but yet they said they was resigned, which means they quit the force, not arrested, not charged, Because literally, they could have killed one of those kids. They killed one of those black children in that car. And yet, they don't want to take responsibility for it. See, people, this is why I said that, you know, these police officers, and I'm telling you like this, they talking about back the blue, we need to support the blue lives matter. How the hell blue lives matter if they start shooting at unarmed black kids? Really? And then one report says that they found a gun inside the glove compartment, which is turns out that's not even that young man's gun. It was his mom's gun, and it was registered. So people try to use logic into their narrative, saying, "Oh, okay," and to justify what the officer did, right? So they talking about what one of the teenagers got the gun inside the glove compartment, and it turns out that is not his gun; it's his mother's gun, and their mother's gun was registered. And then if I'm not mistaken, Georgia is an open carry state, along with the stand your ground law in the state of Georgia. So you telling me that this officer that literally shoot these unarmed black kids, only get to resign or force his resignation? He wasn't even arrested or nothing yet? You know what, guys? And I'm gonna tell you something. And like I said, I'm gonna give a shout out to Seiji Hito, because this is another report and this is another story. But this report happened in Arkansas when one of the police officers shot a fellow police officer, killing him. And so he's been charged with that. But it shows you that when it comes to incidents after incidents by the police, the mainstream media didn't even want to talk about it. The mainstream media don't even bring it up because they don't want to, you know, make the people support the police look like they're bad guys. They're like they're criminals and whatever. And I know a lot of you said we need to back the blue. Blue lives matter. We need to support the blue. And guess what? You know, and it's like Carl Winslow on Family Matters told this police officer, you know, he said, why do you want to be a cop? And then I think the officer was saying that, you know, he want to do right by the community, and one of the good guys and the bad guys. And Carl Winslow told that officer, and I never forget that that episode. He told that officer, and that was a TV show. He says that was a great. He says that's a good thing. And then he said that there's one problem. Your partner's one of the bad guys. He's talking about his partner was the one that did Eddie Winslow getting out of his car and slamming like he was a criminal. See, ladies and gentlemen, this officer, I mean, when I found out about this story, how this officer shooting through a car, one is, I think the oldest one is 16 years old, the other one was 15. And the rest of the kids inside that car was no later than 9 years old. They could have killed one of those children. And the officer wouldn't have cared and got away with it. But since he was forced resignation, and I know a lot of people will say, Lions, say, let's wait till, let's see how this plays out. I already know how this is going to play out, because this dumb-ass DA, what he's going to do, just like he did with the Ahmaud Arbery case, he's going to say, well, you know, he feared for his life, and he had no choice but to shoot. You know, and then they're going to make an excuse where there's a gun in the glove compartment, and that teenager would use that gun, which, by the way, that was his mother's gun, and it was indeed registered. But yet they're going to use that to justify that shooting of these unarmed kids. Ladies and gentlemen, what if the role? I'm talking to the white people real quick. I'm talking to the white lives matter real quick, or blue lives matter. Since y'all basically want to talk trash on all our platforms, And there's incidents across the country when black cops, one part, I mean, let me say this. One story in Louisiana, 2 black police officers shot and killed a white boy while he's pursuing his father. While his father tried to ram through one of the police cruisers. And guess what? These officers were convicted. And then you forgot about Muhammad Noor in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I'm using these for a reason. I'm using this for an example for real quick. You got Muhammad Noor out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, right? Shot an unarmed white woman who's not even an American white woman. She's from Australia. Shot and killed her. They got justice for that. But what about that police officer that shot about 5 children inside that car in Waycross, Georgia? Luckily, nobody got hit. And then pistol whipped a 15-year-old boy. Where's the justice then? Where's the lives then? So you see, this is why I say, ladies and gentlemen, that, there's double standards when it comes to situations like this. 2 black Louisiana cops is in prison right now for the killing of that white boy. Then there's an incident of Muhammad Noor shot an unarmed white woman, and then he faced justice. Well, what about that justice of that cop? Now, he said he was resigned, right? What makes you think he's going to get another job at another police department and get away with what he did? And again, luckily, nobody got hurt or nobody got hit by that bullet. But what if that happened to the children? What if that was a white child that got shot by a white police officer? And you got 5 white children, and 2 of them were teenagers. 2 of them were white teenagers. How do you feel then? How do you feel about that white police officer that shot an unarmed white teen and unarmed white children as young as 9? I guarantee you, y'all will feel outraged about it. But since, of course, when it comes to these unarmed black teens, they're a threat, they're criminals, y'all don't give a damn. Y'all probably going to say, well, they did something. They did something. That has to be a reason why these police officers did something to these black kids. And y'all going to justify what that police officer did because there's black kids and they're a threat. So y'all let me know what you think about this. Like, click, subscribe, and remember to click the notification bell for all the news and commentary. With that being said, this is Lions Den signing off. Deuces.